What's up, party people? Happy One Hit Wonder Wednesday. White women. Oh, God, the white women. White Woman Wednesday is on fire today. I just want to point that out to you guys. Hope all is well with you. This portion of the program is brought to you by NCA, National Certified Alarm. No long-term contracts. License number 645. We won. We lost. It's a tie. Who wins? I win. You win. We win. You know who really won today? America and the world. That's who won. You guys good with that? Let me tell you how this is going to go. Nobody knows. Nobody knows how this is going to go. Nobody has any idea. At any given moment, you know, they're both doing what, you know, Sun Tzu always says, right? You let your enemy have a way out. That's it. You let them. Because when you don't have a way out, you get desperate, you do desperate things become crazy, and, you know, the potential for it to escalate to insanity. So Trump took, you know, I mean, nobody thought he was going to annihilate the world. Nobody did. It's going to destroy everything. Nothing's going to exist. That was not. Nobody believed that. Nobody did. So, Strait of Hormuz opened-ish.
No, it's closed again.
Oh, God. Already?
Yep. Israel says, or rather Iran says, Israel, stop hitting Hezbollah.
Well, yeah, you know, I don't care if you hit Hezbollah. The problem is you're hitting Beirut in a way where there's not a lot of Hezbollah there the way that it is down in the other parts of the country. Now you're into the city. What's that, 100 bombs in 10 minutes? It looks apocalyptic, if you guys have not seen it.
Does it look like Palestine?
Yes, except Beirut is kind of a pretty modernish area. So imagine like parts of downtown, you know, just being evaporated. So it's an ugly situation. So they've closed it again, and it could be open in an hour, and then it could be closed again, and then it could be open in an hour. This thing is, I said today, I did a hit for another station, and it was, remember the Christmas story? Fragile. That's what this ceasefire is. Fragile. Trump wants out, but doesn't mean that Israel wants out. And they, you know, the 10 things that they asked for, are they getting those 10 things? Look, if they get 5 of those things, it's a win for them. If they get a couple of them, it's a win for them. So, you know, in the next hour, that thing could be wide. By the time we get off the air today, it could be open, closed, reopened, and reclosed. So take it for what it's worth. That thing is, and they're supposed to meet Friday. I think from what I understand, it's they have said yes. We don't know who we're sending. I would assume it would be Marco. You know, at this point in time, you're sending in the closer, right? I mean, Ken, you worked in telesales. You were the closer.
Yeah.
You send in the closer.
That was just for carpet cleaning, Brother Chad.
You're sending in the closer. Like, somebody call in the closer. Ken comes over, right? Like it's the Wolf of Wall Street, but it's the Wolf of Carpet.
All right, I tell you what, we'll waive the cost of pre-treatment.
We'll give you some of that stain stuff for your couch.
What's it going to take to get our men into your home today?
Don't make it a one-legger. Husband and wife have to be there. Oh, Lordy Lord. So this is going to be, this isn't over by any stretch. I mean, it could be done, you know. I mean, by the weekend, we could have invaded. And you know what? We don't know. And that's the whole part of this is Pakistan, which, by the way, I'll read some of the Pakistani's prime minister's. His tweet is so bizarre because you could tell that they didn't come up with it. Because there's literally, it was copy and pasted and sent to him, and he just copy and pasted it. And it said something like, make sure you give this to the prime minister. Like that's what they would call their own prime minister. It was hilarious. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting because now we're going to see what the wheeling and dealing's all about. You know, we know what they want, and we know that they're probably not going to get a lot of it. They want a full ceasefire, end of war, not temporary. Okay. Guarantee of no future. How do you guarantee no future attacks? Because what if you attack other nations? Okay. Lift all U.S. sanctions and world sanctions. Yeah, you think that's happening? Now, it doesn't mean some of it can't, right? Because they're going to want that. And instead of paying them for the damage that we've done, maybe that's kind of one of those things where you go, okay, we'll lift some of those sanctions. Release frozen Iranian assets. Here's this one. Withdraw, the U.S. withdraw from the Middle East. No. Now, these are the two biggies. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz and has the right to charge tolls. I heard today they were charging, $1 million? $1 million. You know who controlled the Strait of Hormuz before this? Nobody. It was just kind of, it's like, we're all looking after it. They also want the right to continue to enrich nuclear material with the claims that they are not seeking a weapon. And by the way, the uranium it means very little because it takes them how many months to get uranium? And if they're wide open and they can do all kinds of trading, how hard do you think it would be for them to procure more? Probably not that hard. And they want it backed by the UN, which I don't know how that works. The enforcement with the little guys in the blue helmets going to run around and stop stuff. Yeah. And then the end of the attacks on Iran's allies, Hezbollah, blah, 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 blah. And obviously we saw that today, that's not going to happen. So Kuwait faces a barrage. Saudi pipeline is hit. And, man, I am looking at this stuff in Lebanon. Israel just crushed portions of the city. I mean, it is nuts. And, of course, what happens then? Stuff comes flying back. So it's like now we're at the point, it's like, okay, did you fire that? So we're not fighting you right now. No, but we're fighting these guys? Okay, those guys, you guys can fight those guys. It's like 10 guys in a room.
Everybody turn the missiles to the left.
Yeah, so Israel's killed more than 1,530 people in Lebanon, including more than 100 women, 130 children in the attacks. And here's the thing about this. Remember, we can call a ceasefire. Israel's in Lebanon. They've got boots on the ground. So it's not like we just tell them, turn around, walk out. And I want them to get Hezbollah. I think everybody does. I think most of the people in Lebanon want them to get, because if you guys don't know anything about Lebanon, it has basically been cut in two, where you have the average Muslim and lots of Christians in Beirut and places like that, and then another portion that was closer to Israel that was full of the fighters. So ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Oh, Ken, I will tell you this. I'm pumped. I want you to win One Hit Wonder Wednesday. It's a sad I'm going to win.
Today, boys.
Not going to happen.
I'm going to tell you this. So I had to tell, because first I thought, I'm going to do Ice Ice Baby. And then I looked, I'm like, damn it, he had 2 hits. That turd. He had 2 hits. Stupid. He did.
Wasn't he on that Fat Camp reality show for a while?
Yeah. No, he was on the rehab show, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was the rehab show, and Gary Coleman. He ticked off Gary Coleman.
Think about if you're standing there watching that, and you're thinking, what's wrong with my life? I'm watching Vanilla Ice fight Gary Coleman. What? I need help. I need more help than this.
I did need help. I can't believe I watched
that
show.
Right there would go, I'm sober now.
Yeah. He kept asking Gary Coleman to say, "What you talking about, Willis?" And Gary Coleman just kept refusing.
That is so
funny. He kept on him, and finally, man, I mean, they got into a heated deal.
That is so funny. What happened?
What did Gary go get a stepladder and get up in his face?
What happened to you? Oh, dude. You didn't hear what happened? Me and Gary Coleman got into a fight.
Man, we got into it, man. We threw hands. We threw hands.
I was, he is, Ice, by the way, has done great with his life. Turned around. He's worth about $20 million. He owns all this real estate, and he still goes out and performs, probably gets a decent amount of money to come out and do his 1 hit. Well, now he's got 2. I forgot all about that one. But, he turned himself, Gary unfortunately did not.
No, he didn't.
Gary struggled. Isn't it? If you would have told me when that show was going on, that Willis would be the only one alive, I'd have been like, shut up.
Yeah, because, what's his real name? Todd.
Todd Bridges.
Yeah, Todd Bridges. He had some problems.
He had a lot of problems. And who's alive? Not Dana. What's her name? Was it Dana Plato or whatever her name was?
Yeah.
Todd's in the middle of a divorce, too.
Yeah, he's in the middle of divorce. You had that. You had, obviously, Gary Coleman died.
Yeah.
And you're looking around going, really? You're the one? It happens. That's the same thing with Bobby Brown. If you'd have told me Bobby Brown would be the one this round, you're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Well, you remember Molly Shannon told a story on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. She told a story about how she met Gary Coleman at a hotel. They were going to do something together, as part of entertainment. Well, she alleges he invited her to his hotel room, and she didn't think anything about it. She claims they were just going to meet, but he then apparently started making advances upon her.
Oh.
And she got uncomfortable. And at one point, she says she went into the bathroom and closed the door. And she claims that he was like down at the, looking through where the bottom of the door and the floor meet. And he was going, I see you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you got to check this out, man. It was Molly Shannon on What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. I was fascinated by what she was saying.
That to me is just fascinating.
Yeah, he was apparently jumping on the bed and like reaching for her. It was very odd.
It is.
If that happened. But why would,
Why would you lie about that? Like, of all the absurd things to lie about.
Yeah, there were just too many weird details.
Yeah. And I bet if you ask her, she can answer that over and over again. Like the same thing. The whole thing, that whole show was awesome and a disaster at the end of the day.
At the same time.
At the same, because didn't Dana Plato end up doing an adult film too?
No, she was in Playboy, but
okay.
I mean, she ended up ODing, I think.
Yeah, she OD'd.
Yeah.
She had a lot of problems. They're probably all blame it on Todd.
Man, that show was popular, though.
So
man.
he was, Gary Coleman, I think at one time was the highest paid actor on television. He was getting paid $100,000 an episode, and Mom and Dad took it all, and all he had left was bad kidneys and tiny trains.
They squandered his money in the worst way.
Well, and the law was changed because of him.
Yeah.
So where Mom and Dad can't get a hold of your money anymore, they can only take
there's a certain percentage
5 to
they have
10%. Yeah,
have
that's
to
it.
put into a trust, though, right?
90% can go to it has to go to the kid, to the trust. 5 to 10% you're allowed to take as a management fee. But outside of that, you can't take all because they took every penny he had.
Wow.
And that was sad.
That's terrible.
And that kind of thing goes all the way back to like the Little Rascals, where they were getting good money for that era, and their parents were just spending it as it came in.
Yeah, Shirley Temple and all those kids had just lost everything because of horrible human beings. Mom and Dad. That's what money does. Weird things to people. Oh man, we got so much White Woman Wednesday. Oh Lord, she was on a roll.
Kylie was?
Kylie was on a roll.
I bet you she experienced something the likes of which nobody's ever seen.
You have no idea.
And she was able to express it with calm.
Absolutely. You know what, you guys, this is... You guys really want to defeat Orion? Send her over. This will get done in an hour. Patriarchy, my ass. Let me tell you something. I went to Brown and now going to Penn.
Try putting a hijab on her.
She would do it only because she respects their customs. Yeah. So, this is awesome. So we got that. We got, of course, One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Got the belt right here. Yesterday, people before we got off the air yesterday, people were like, I'm voting for Ken tomorrow. Well, I have a feeling Ken brought it. Although, Bell, even today, very, very, very just confident that I'm like, what kind of, song is it? He's like, it's part jazz, part, rock, part folk music.
It's making me nervous now.
No. He's full of it. Don't listen to him. He's trying to scare us all. He's mad dogging us. I'm not letting that happen right there. I'll tell you that right now.
You'll be amazed that this was the only hit this artist had.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. See? Don't worry.
Son of a biscuit eater.
Yeah, mine is a fun story to tell The song, oddly enough, Bell had never heard the song before.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah,
That makes me nervous.
I didn't even recognize the artist's name when he said it to me.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. This is going to be fun, man. I'm pumped. I'm ready for it. So it's One Hit Wonder Wednesday, White Woman Wednesday, coming straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Relief Factor is going to give you the relief you need when it comes to your body. Why is that? Because you want to feel good, right? You get a little bit older, a little longer in the tooth. Maybe you're working out. Maybe you're doing a lot of stuff at work. Guess what happens? Inflammation, plus our diet's not very good. Inflammation. So Relief Factor, right? So for less than $20, you can get a 3-week quick start, naturally formulated. Take it every single day. Make it 3 fatty acids. There's resveratrol. They got black pepper extract, which helps your body absorb more. What that does is it takes on those pathways where there's inflammation in really your joints and especially your muscles, and it helps you in ways you cannot believe. You're going to feel so much better. So if you struggle with aches and pains in your body, struggle no more. Get out of that with Relief Factor. So what do? Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. Or call 800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor. Tell them Chad sent you.
All right, drivers in the Belmont area, we got a crash blocking the right lane. That's going to be Wedgwood Avenue westbound right there at 65. It's also blocking the on-ramp there. And we've had a early morning accident that turned deadly in East Nashville. It's on a work site, and that ceasefire hanging by a thread there. Operation Epic Fury update coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
A lot of people chiming in about the Gary Coleman thing. Apparently, they saw the same episode, and they said Gary Coleman had enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just letting you guys know that, Gary Coleman. Didn't he fight somebody in one of those celebrity boxing things, too? Like Manute Bol, the guy that was 7'7"?
They beat the living crap out of his knees.
Punched him right in the ankles.
It seems like Todd Bridges did.
Yeah.
I think he fought.
That sounds more correct.
Things.
I think it was Todd.
Oh, was it him? Did he fight?
Gotta look that up.
Yeah. See, now, this is the kind of
Here
stuff.
we go, man. We're in the rabbit hole, boys.
We're in it. Let's do it. By the way, speaking of rabbit holes.
It's 9 a.m. at the coffee bar. She's live streaming from her car. Fair trade, tote, bread of New HD, telling workers what they ought to be. Let me center your experience. She said, speaking over everyone. Got a thread for every human sin, but blocks you if you don't chime in. It's White Woman Wednesday.
The white women are hard at it this past week. As you guys know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and nobody decides what's better for our lives than young white women who are progressive and usually overly educated, and dare I say this, have been put in a position of privilege that they hate. What? There's no way that can happen. Where do we start with our good friend Kylie, who is on a roll? And remember, everything happens to her.
When people fearmonger about black and brown men, because by far the people who've been the meanest to me have been white guys. And if you don't believe me, here's an account that I woke up to this morning. Yes, that is a picture of me being strangled. Or how about this picture I was just tagged in? Yeah, that's me being thrown into a fire, apparently. And I get things like this every day, every single day of my life after starting to post online against white supremacy, which honestly isn't supremacy at all. It's white narcissism. And so that's when people are like, oh, like, would you date a white guy? I would. I mean, my high school ex-boyfriend is a white guy. He's chill. He went to Harvard. He's very, very liberal. But those types of men are few and far between. And most of the guys who I've been on dates with that are white have literally been conservative and lied about it, or they're actually incredibly misogynistic. And again, I think it's because of the cultural way that white people are raised, the way that white men are just completely given a pass with every single thing they do. And yes, this is a problem with men in general, but white men specifically is absolutely horrendous. And out of all men, white men are the ones who've made me feel unsafe time and time again, and who harass me online every single day.
Every day. Nonstop. It's never not happened to her, people, is what I'm saying. It's never not happened to her. We've moved from her to Jess, who, by the way, still very
Jess, I forgot about you.
Still very nice on the eyes, but insane.
I keep thinking about how many times I've been told to keep the peace. Before every holiday, it was don't bring up Ferguson. Ignore what so-and-so says about Sandy Hook or climate change. Don't get into it with them about their COVID conspiracies. Ignore their Trump paraphernalia. Don't cause conflict at the dinner table. Just let it go. Take the high road. Keep the peace. And keeping the peace always meant silence. Tiptoe around the anger of grown men who have never once been asked to keep the peace themselves. Watch the women shake their heads, occasionally trying to smooth over the edges of their husband's rhetoric, but complicit nonetheless, clearing the dishes from the table while ignoring the mess. And now Donald Trump can say that a whole civilization may die tonight. And I have to wonder if that silence really ever kept the peace.
So wait a minute. If your wife would have complained about clearing the dishes off, somehow there would be no... Well, apparently somebody moved the dishes last night, so there you go. Oh, you know what? If I feel bad for the ladies out there who didn't go to college, and this is only something, I'm telling you guys, that is a Western phenomenon. And it's a white woman's Western, West phenomenon. That's it. I mean, there is no other place that this happens except for the West.
Yeah.
Never.
Never.
No. I mean, it's insane.
I like how Kylie's former boyfriend, who was Harvard liberal, I like how she brought that up. I mean, she'd get along well with this fella who was a spokesperson for NES.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Went to college.
Okay.
And
now,
he's white.
Now, is he really, though? See, that's the problem. How you could be white, but you got to feel bad about being white. You can't just be white.
Yeah,
right. You got to be shamefully white. That's what we're hoping for. And here's one more from the ladies.
Am I the only one that feels like we are kind of at war with men right now? Or like, I'm feeling very against men right now. Like, I go spaces where there's majority men, and I feel there's something there. I feel like I am resentful, like when I go to the gym and there's guys there, when I go golfing and it's all men, I'm just like, I think all of you hate me. I think all of you hate me and wish that I don't know, it's just the way that men have been treating women for so many generations, and today we're like, wait, what the why is locker room talk a thing? Like, why? Like, it's just, maybe I just don't respect them or something more than ever, but I don't know. Does anyone else feel this when they're around men specifically?
Oh, my God. I just feel they hate me. Like, she jumped straight to, well, they all hate me. I don't know what they're thinking, but I know they hate me.
She's not necessarily wrong. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but it doesn't mean it's not.
What's her name?
She's just some rando.
Oh, that's just a rando.
Yeah, just a rando woman hater, a man hater. And there's a lot of those now where they're all trying. Have you seen what they're trying to do? They're all trying to get together and start like these communes. Oh, it's awesome. Oh, we don't need anything, right? It's like, just go. Like, nobody's stopping you. The robots are almost here.
Dude, you've got to play that one, the guy who was making the jokes about liberals at barbecue that you sent me.
Oh, okay. I will. That is so. I've got that. That's hilarious. I got a little Mark Maron coming up later. He is fantastic. where he says, liberals, we're so bad that he goes, we force normal people to become fascist. Yeah. So awesome. Coming up in a little bit, guys, it's time for One Hit Wonder Wednesday. We've got one hit each. That would be 3 hits, but only one of us will win in the battle for the belt.
Show him the belt.
All right, hold on. Let me get the belt. I am currently the holder of the belt this week. Ken wasn't here last week.
Look at that.
Look at that there, kids. Whoop, 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 whoop.
It'll hide your love handles.
It will. It'll hide a lot of things right there. You know what it'll hide? Your shame.
What if you don't have any?
Then you've got nothing to worry about.
Okay.
And you've got no shame, my friend. No shame at all.
This is true.
One Hit Wonder Wednesday straight ahead. Chad Bench, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Looks like we still got that crash in the Wedgwood, the Belmont area. It's going to be blocking the right lane of Wedgwood Avenue going westbound there at 65. It's blocking the on-ramp, too. Right now in Middle Tennessee, an early morning worksite accident has turned deadly in East Nashville. Fire department called to Ambrose Avenue, just east of Ellington Parkway, north of Trinity Lane, before mid-morning. Reports of a worker trapped by a forklift. Operation Epic Fury, that ceasefire hanging by a thread now that Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz again. They're not happy with Israel continuing to attack Hezbollah there in Lebanon. Gilgo Beach serial killer Rex Heuermann pleading guilty today for the murders of 8 women there on New York's Long Island. Heuermann, who prosecutors say killed the women over a 17-year period, will be formally sentenced on June 17th. His ex-wife, Asa Ellerup, read from a prepared statement after the court hearing.
My thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families. Their loss is immeasurable, and the focus should be on them at this time.
Prosecutors say he's going to get 3 consecutive life terms with no possibility for parole. Metro Council here in Nashville rejected a proposed one-time water bill credit tied to January's deadly ice storm. The bill would have given Metro Water customers a $25 credit, but failed on final reading with an 18-16 vote. Water officials had urged customers to drip faucets during the storm, leading some to see bills hundreds of dollars higher than normal. Opponents argued the flat credit wasn't fair because it treated small increases the same as much larger ones. And way over our heads, the crew on board the capsule for NASA's Artemis II mission start their day today with
Vanilla Ice.
Queen.
It is the Queen and David Bowie version of Under Pressure. By the way, Splashdown's still set for Friday. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Beacon Capital Management would love to talk to you about all things retirement when it comes to your finances. Like, what's going on? Do you worry about having to unretire? Because that's a scary thing. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. And I don't know if you guys saw the guy in Boise, Idaho, Domino's guy. They had to, you don't want to be in a situation where you're working a second job, another job, having to unretire and hope and pray that somebody does a GoFundMe for you. No, let Beacon handle the business for you. They can do all of that. They're amazing. They're going to give you a free, personalized financial consultation. Okay, it's not going to cost you anything. They're going to talk to you about everything, right? Yeah, they can be your one-stop shop. Healthcare, check. Estate planning, they got it. Oh, maybe you're thinking to yourself, long-term care and healthcare? Yeah, they got those as well as the dollars and cents of it all. Call Beacon today. Get in there. They're local. Say hi to them. 615-488-9303. 615-488-9303. Check them out. They can also do your taxes. Oh, yeah, that's what Beacon is all about, guys. 615-488-9303. Online at beaconcm.com. This is a paid placement. Oh, kids. Excited. Can I defend my title? Good friends over there at the Wellness Institute got us this big belt. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. So you guys know how it works. Every week we have a one hit each. And then you guys get to decide via vote. We do it this hour and the third hour. Who wins? And the winner keeps the belt for a week. I've won twice. Bell's won twice. Ken has lost twice, but he also didn't play last week, so it doesn't count.
I've lost 3 times.
Yeah. It was Mason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mason, he got it, but didn't got it.
We got it, but he didn't got it.
Yeah, he didn't got it. He didn't got it. So we had to got it for him. But he did okay. But, at the end of the day, though, this is serious stuff, guys. This is full contact. We're ready.
Now it's time for another edition of One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You may not remember the name of the band, but you definitely know the song. This is One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
All right, One Hit Wonder Wednesday. I'm excited to hear Bells because Bells has like everything And he's like, oh, okay, so check this out. It's got like a banjo, and then somebody's playing the washboard, but it's also got electric guitar. And it's
spoons.
It's a bit alt with some this. So this will be interesting. But let's start with you, Ken. Everybody's already voting for Ken, by the way. I should let you guys know.
Don't vote for Ken.
Yeah, vote for Ken. Vote for Ken. That's right. It's like vote for Pedro. It's vote for Ken.
Vote for
Let's vote for Ken. Let's see what you got here, Ken. What you got for us today?
All right, boys, we going back to 1993. Green Jelly, widely considered a one-hit wonder band, famous almost exclusively for this 1993 hit, Three Little Piggies. While the group has released multiple albums and maintained a cult following, they are defined by the immense, unexpected success of that single claymation music video. I'd forgotten about that. It became the most requested video in MTV history at the time.
Wow.
Got all the way up to number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100. By the way, it was interesting. Message at the end of the video. And the moral of the story is that bands with no talent can easily amuse idiots with a stupid puppet show.
There you go.
And they actually benefited from a lawsuit because they were originally called Green Jello, and they were sued for using Jello and had to change it to Jelly.
Wow.
And that brought them a lot of publicity.
Maynard James Keenan was in the band. I did not know that. He was the backing vocals from 90 to 93. Yeah. So. Yeah, they were like a Gwar before, like a Gwar type. It was more
Gwar after Gwar.
It was but it's more about the art. Like we're here to upset stuff, so you guys better watch out because that's how we roll.
This is when MTV was still playing videos. They just started, the real world stuff, but they were still playing a lot of videos. I mean, this thing was on all the time.
Yeah. I just did the video. I don't really remember the song, but I remember the video. Video's like, oh, that's disturbing. So there's that. So that's what Ken's got so far. We're going to go over to Bell now, who apparently is he already won, he said. So we'll see. I mean, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't.
Well, my artist actually released over 62 albums.
Wow. He
Well,
must
actually
suck.
over 62 records, 62 full lengths. And he has now passed away. And since his family controls his catalog, they've released another 70. So he has like 130 albums out.
Good God.
A lot of times he did the lead vocals on his own songs. Sometimes he would have a band member do it. But in this specific case, he had his daughter, Moon Unit, do it.
Oh, you're doing the little Valley Girl.
Oh.
Valley Girl. She's a Valley Girl.
Peaked at number 32 on the Billboard Hot 100, the only time he even got close to a chart.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. He was also a little experimental.
Oh, he was very experimental.
Yeah. So you had Moon Unit.
Moon Unit was
Dweezil?
his daughter. Dweezil was one of his
Dweezil,
sons.
yeah.
Ahmed was another one of the sons, and I think there might have been one other brother, but I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, man, he was a trip.
And Dweezil is actually an extraordinarily talented guitarist, too.
And isn't Ahmed, isn't he in like the TV industry? Isn't that what he did? Something like
I believe so.
Whatever happened to Moon Unit?
Probably living off of what Daddy left her.
Probably not bad.
Yeah,
She's
I
probably
bet it's
gone. I
not
wish
bad
Dad
at
did
all.
some regular
The
damn
album,
songs.
the album. This is Frank's sense of humor. The album this comes from was called "Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch," and it's a triangle on one side of a box, moving up towards a triangle on the middle of the box. It looks like the witch's hat above the water and a ship coming in to save her, and it's too
Look
late.
at that. Look, he was an interesting character. No doubt about that.
Man, my brother introduced me to him. He had a set of just instrumental albums that Frank Zappa put out, and that dude was an incredible guitarist. I mean, there's no singing in these songs; it's just guitar. It's really good.
He wrote a song that the drums in it are so proactive that he ended up naming the song "The Black Page" because there's so much ink on it to do the notes.
Yeah,
the page is almost black.
Wow, it's crazy.
Interesting.
He died
dude.
at 53.
Yeah,
Colon cancer.
Yeah,
man. Too soon. Way too soon.
Too soon. So we got that. We got green jelly. We got old Frank Zappa there. Mine goes back to, well, 2 times. 2 times it was released. First, 1973. This guy, it's an interesting character. His name, when he released it the first time, was Franklin Franklin. Horrible name. Horrible name. They're like, dude, this is awful. So 1973, Paramount Records, 7-inch single. They released this. It goes nowhere. But in the subsequent years, something starts to happen in the inner cities throughout America. Double Dutch becomes quite big. And so they go, we should re-record it. So they go and they re-record the song, The Double Dutch Bus. And subsequently, it was a hit. It got to number 30. But the interesting thing about this is right now, this is the hottest song on TikTok. So it became a hit. And this song right now, and I was telling Belle, 25 million streams in the last month or so.
Wow.
Because a woman by the name of Molly Long in California has a big dance troupe. And last year they took pop music and made it huge viral sensation that everybody was doing the dance on. Now it's Double Dutch, and it has become another smash hit. The interesting thing about this, and the weirdness of the world, he got no money from this. The guy who wrote it and him, they were owed money. They had to go to the IRS and say, we're not getting paid. You guys can't. Well, your record company said that. The record company was owned by a guy named Larry Lavin, whose nickname became Dr. Snow because he was one of the biggest drug dealers on the East Coast who took his money and laundered it everywhere. In fact, he was so big that Colin Jost is getting ready to play him in a Netflix series.
Interesting.
Yeah. But this song, right now, hottest song on TikTok. Oh, lordy, lordy. So, Double Dutch by this time. This time, he is not Franklin Franklin. He's just Frankie Smith, who, by the way, spent a lot of time here in Tennessee before he passed away 2019. Never saw it become another hit again. So we got the Double Dutch from Frankie Smith. We got Green Jelly. What was the song from Green Jelly again?
Three Little Pigs.
And Valley Girl from Frank Zappa.
I got to thank listener Bradley Wink, boys.
Man, by the way, several people said, I got that CD, the Green Jelly CD. So that is so cool. So Ken Weaver is pulling it. Vote for the Weave. The Weave looks like so far in the first round, the Weave is looking like the winner. But hey,
I'm going to get to wear that belt.
You're going to get to wear that belt. Tip you over, man. You better watch out, though. If you take it in your car, that towing capacity is going to be put to the limit.
It is heavy. I mean, I'm telling you, man, Dr. Mitch, he spares no expense.
He spares no expense at all, kids. So let us know what song you guys like. Vote on it. A lot of stuff still to get to today.
I actually think that I was thinking about this the other day. I think the belt is a Trojan horse.
What do you mean?
Because if you put that on, your back's going to go out and you're going to need him.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Because that thing weighs about
that's
25
true.
pounds.
That's true. That's why he gave you guys the big trophy for the nincompoops, too. So when you hold it up, your back hurts. Next thing you know, you got to go in and get in the hydro weight machine. Let's see the
It's
way this
all
is.
by design.
All by design, indeed. All right, coming up, we got some more White Woman Wednesday. And by request, I got Ken's funny ha-ha from a good friend, Mark Morin.
Man, that cracked
Mark,
me up.
who is, this is funny. You guys are going to love this. We'll do that straight ahead. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Omaha Steaks, baby. Protein. You can go to the store. You can spend way too much money with no guarantee, probably pumped full of, or you go to omahasteaks.com, use my code Benson. It's like 50% savings already, and then use my code Benson. Oh, lordy, an extra $35 off at checkout. Now, what are you going to get? Do you want fillets? Oh, they got them. USDA certified fillets, wrapped in bacon. Pork chops, chicken breast. Oh, those things are amazing. Oh, let's not forget the fact that they got burgers, smash burgers, Frank's, dogs, whatever you want to call them, seafood, you name it. They've got all the best in protein delivered right to you, taking the hassle away, what you're going to do for dinner every night. And it's protein that is amazing. It's not full of junk and crap. It's awesome. And you're saving. And on top of that, guaranteed. Money back guaranteed. Right there. So what are you waiting for? Save big. 50% off. Little sale going on. Oh, by the way, when you use my code Benson at omahasteaks.com, extra $35 off at checkout. You can get anything you could think of. You could build your own. Get the best protein around from America's Butcher since 1917. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use code Benson. omahasteaks.com. Code Benson saves you $35 at checkout. See site for detailed terms may apply.
Deadly workplace accident in East Nashville, and that shaky ceasefire with Iran just got shakier. We'll tell you about it at 1 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
If Eddie Money was here, would he say, it's shaking? Oh.
Either that, it would either be that or my chest hurts.
So what does that say? A little EM?
Snapping a finger.
Esophageal cancer.
Oh, you're the worst. Let's laugh.
Progressives have really got to figure out how to deal with this buzzkill problem. I know these are important issues, but you do realize we annoyed the average American into fascism. You do realize that. No one can ruin a barbecue quicker than a liberal. So you want something from the grill? What about the genocide? Well, this cookout's a benefit for the victims of the genocide. Okay. Do you have veggie burgers? No, we don't. You want a hamburger? I can't eat murder. Okay, so salad table, have some hummus.
Oh, Mark Maron right there. Yeah. You've annoyed the average person
Into fascism.
That right there sums it all up.
Pretty much.
Just 100%. You know the weird thing? Have you ever heard the theory of who to blame for Trump?
No.
It was very interesting. I saw this the other day. It's another one of those weird theories you go down the rabbit hole. Gwen Stefani.
Really?
Yeah, Gwen Stefani.
How's that?
It had something to do with she was doing something and she was on one of those shows, and Trump wanted to raise his profile and whatnot, and he thought, well, I'm going to go do something too because this is going to raise my profile even more. So he ran for president, and the thought was a lot of those people that were there, there's friends, some of them were paid to be there when he came down the elevator, the escalator, the whole 9 yards, and he goes and does his first rally after the big, some of his debates, and there's like 10,000 people there, and he thought to himself, oh my God, I could probably do this thing. And they blame it all on Gwen Stefani.
I mean, I still don't understand why she gets the blame. But
Because I think he thought, well, how is she getting so popular, like even more famous and everything?
Gotcha.
And look at all the stuff, because she's done one of these shows. Her profile's going through the
he
roof.
saw what she was doing, so
Yeah.
he decided to copy it.
Yeah, so, Deborah's like, you can't blame Gwen Stefani. My God.
I didn't copy her. I made it better.
Made it better every day. Did you guys see what's going on? We got peace, and by peace, I mean not peace. So this ceasefire, which you're going to cover here in a little bit, very shaky. That's the best thing to describe it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, we got more White Woman Wednesday, including maybe the most insane, and I do think, as crazy as the other ladies are, a lot of it's very narcissistic. This is like the reach on this one. You would have to be, who's the stretchy guy? Dr. What's his name?
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. Reed Richards couldn't stretch this far.
Mr. Fantastic.
Is that what he is?
That's what it's called.
Was he really fantastic?
He was.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. So we're going to talk about that, a bunch of other stuff straight ahead. Chad Benson's house, 7
1 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, there's been a deadly workplace accident in East Nashville. First responders found a worker pinned underneath a forklift at a construction site on Ambrosia Avenue. The worker had no pulse. Metro Police now working to determine how it happened. Operation Epic Fury, that ceasefire, very shaky. Especially now that Iran has reclosed the Strait of Hormuz, they say, because Israel keeps attacking Hezbollah sites in Lebanon. And Rex Heuermann has pleaded guilty today for the murders of 8 women on New York's Long Island. Heuermann, who prosecutors say killed the women over a 17-year period near Gilgo Beach, will be formally sentenced in June. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer says it's unclear why Heuermann may have changed his plea.
I don't think we would know the absolute why or get a direct answer, because that can only come from Rex Heuermann himself, and he hasn't given us that yet. June 17th is the sentencing date, and it would give him the opportunity to give his final words before he's sentenced.
Prosecutors say he's going to get 3 consecutive life terms without the chance for parole. The ketamine queen is facing sentencing today in Los Angeles. Jasphine Sangha has pleaded guilty in connection to giving actor Matthew Perry the ketamine that led to his death. More from ABC's Melissa Adon, who says she's also getting sentenced for the death of another person.
Sangha at this point faces a maximum sentence of 65 years in prison, but her defense is asking for time served. Of course, we have heard from relatives of Matthew Perry who insist that there needs to be something done about this, right? Accountability needs to be made because it was in Matthew's death, in that other gentleman's death, and they want to basically show for it. So that is something that, of course, the family and prosecutors have been asking for.
Despite all the talk of inflation and energy prices, a different subject's top of mind for a majority of Americans, according to the latest Gallup poll conducted after the attacks on Iran started. The key issue identified by respondents was not the conflict or its potential impact on gas prices. Gallup finds that concern about the availability and affordability of health care keeps 61% of Americans awake at night. 51% worry about the economy. Crime and violence are of great concern to 39% of Americans right now. And way over our heads, the crew aboard the capsule for NASA's Artemis II mission started their day today under pressure by Queen and David Bowie. The crew is in the home stretch of the mission. They're heading back to Earth. Weather looks good for splashdown in the Pacific on Friday. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
So it's not over. Is that it was up, but it's not You know how I know it's not over? Because I got to go home and do another show after this.
Yeah.
That's how I know it's not over. But we won. Nah. Did we lose? Nah. That's how I know. What did we achieve? We blew a whole bunch of stuff up. This is the way it works. Everybody's going to go home and claim victory. Okay? And at the end of the day, we're going to be right back at it probably tomorrow or the next day.
We need to see if we can get the gays of Hormuz to help with the Strait of Hormuz.
No, they are not. Have you seen that video where the guy's asking about the...
And the idiot had no clue.
What the gays? What?
Maybe I shouldn't talk to this guy because I might look like a total fool.
Yeah, yeah. If somebody comes up to you with a microphone, for the most part, if you answer it in a real way, they're never going to use your stuff. If you say something insane, you're totally going to be on their video. Just if you want to be on their video, do that. So, did we win? Did we lose? No. This is a timeout. It's a pause. That's it. And Iran, and somebody just text 4919 said, I'm going to be honest with you. Israel's really starting to piss me off because Israel is not stopping. And did you think they were going to stop? Did anybody think that they were going to stop? No.
And didn't they put out a statement saying that Lebanon and Hezbollah wasn't part of the ceasefire?
Yeah. So they're going to continue. But Iran said it's got to be our allies, proxies, allies, whatever. So you can't just, it's one for all kind of thing. Just like we would say, you got to stop the whole thing. And Trump's like, no, it's not that. You can't do that. But Israel's going to do what Israel does. So this isn't going to be over by any stretch of the imagination. I think because they didn't agree on anything. Let's be honest about that. We agreed upon what? Nothing. It is a framework for things that we're probably not going to give them, and they're probably not going to take the things that we said you have to take. Although if Trump was kind of funny, he's like, you guys can't have the Strait of Hormuz unless we're partners. You guys want to split it?
50-50.
I really never thought about taking it ourselves, but we could totally 50-50 with it. But it is closed again, and now it is up to, hopefully cooler, calmer heads will prevail in the next couple days where they're supposed to meet Friday. I don't know how real that is because these things are so, every second it seems to change. It does. So, will it happen? Will it not happen? The Dow's up, oil's just tomorrow. Oil could be back up at $90. The Dow could be down another 500, and we're back in the same because there's nothing that is really holding this thing together.
Isn't the Dow over 50K?
No, but it's on its way, I hope.
Oh.
But again, that's all subject to change if they said, well, we got to go back because they want to take the Strait of Hormuz, which is that is their weapon. That's their strength right there. So, this is going to be one of those things where I said it last hour, fragile. Remember that was it the Christmas Story when he got the leg and he got the box said fragile and it's all fragile because he thought it was Italian. He was great. That was a great movie.
Man.
They wanted Jack Nicholson to play that part.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And they said, we have an $8 million budget. And he says, well, he wants $10 million to do the movie because, well, then we do not have that kind of money.
Well, thank you, Mr. Nicholson.
That's more than the whole damn budget.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it works. So Strait of Hormuz is currently open-closed. Because remember, if you're a friend of them and you pay them, you can go through. But if you're an ally with us or anything, they're probably telling you no. So what does it mean? Earlier today, Carolyn Levitt talking about it.
With respect to the 2-week ceasefire announced by President Trump last night, this is a victory for the United States of America that the president and our incredible military made happen. From the very beginning of Operation Epic Fury, President Trump stated this would be a 4 to 6 week military operation to dismantle the military threat posed by the radical Islamic Iranian regime. Thanks to the unbelievable capabilities of America's war fighters, the United States has achieved and exceeded those core military objectives in just 38 days.
I want you guys to be honest with me. What did we achieve? I just, and it's funny because Sally just said, well, and I like this. I think this is it only took us 6 weeks to return power to the Islamic Republic in Iran, as opposed to 20 years in Afghanistan. We know how tough our men are and women. We know how amazing our advanced and big military side of stuff is, right? It's a lot linear. It's a little bit different nowadays. The drones, we're getting into the drones. But the reality of it is we blew a lot of stuff up and we killed a lot of their leaders. But like a Pez dispenser that's never ending, one of the heads falls off and you open it up. What's in there? Another piece, another Pez. So the question is, what did we achieve? It cost us a ton of money. We've lost, 13 lives? Hundreds of our men have been injured. We don't have their nuclear, stuff. And the thing that they sent us today or last night is something that we're probably not going to go for. And if we do allow them to have some of it, it's an absolute loss, especially the Strait of Hormuz. So, and the one thing that, that we could talk about all day is we could agree to several of these things. But does Israel agree to it? I don't know. So, we could celebrate, everybody wants to go home and celebrate the victory because that's what Trump was looking for. And look, strong thing to do is to walk away and go, this is the best we're going to do. We made a decision that wasn't great, and that's a BB issue. But I don't know what else are we're not going to, he's not going to wipe out the civilization. That's just not going to happen. The world's not going to stand for it. And then not only would we be a pariah, you'd have hundreds of millions of Muslims who were like, well, we didn't really like Iran, but quite frankly, this wasn't what we're looking for. So now what do we do? And I hope cooler, calmer heads prevail and get in there and actually go, all right, let's get something knocked out. But I continue to say the Israel side of stuff because they're not going to be satisfied. And one of the things in there, one of 10 things that they put out was end attack on Israel's allies, including stopping strikes in places like Lebanon. Israel said no, even though they told Trump last night, yeah, we will. And then they just bombed Lebanon. They hit Lebanon today with 100 missiles in 10 minutes in Beirut. So, this is, it feels like we're going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. And nobody trusts each other. That's the other side of it. They don't trust us because every time we have a meeting, we blow their guys up. And that's hard. It's hard to want to get people to come to the table when every time the table blows up. Hey, come sit at the table. Nah, I'm going to pass. You know what? No, I'm good.
Let's do this on Zoom.
Yeah. No, because the Israelis will figure out where you are. So now we've got a situation where this, like we said earlier, it will be closed, then it'll be open, then it'll be closed, then it'll be open. By the time the day ends and Matt gets here, it may have been closed several times and opened several times. And so what achievement, militarily, again, we could wipe them out. Absolutely. Could we have taken them out, the civilization? Yes. But the achievement of, did we get lasting peace in an area where there's lots of chaos? I don't know. Let me know. Artemis, so you know what they're doing today? Nothing. Not doing anything. They're working on the toilet again, having issues with the urine. Saw that a little while ago. They're also wearing these special suits that they're trying out that will help them when it comes to the, because your body kind of stretches when you're in space, right? That you take all your with no gravity, just floating around. It helps with your joints. Like, that's a real helper right there. But they're trying out these new suits that are supposed to help kind of make it easier for them to get on land and to help with their blood pressure. That was the big thing they're worried about. And the radiation stuff. I'm telling everybody, stick your head out the window for a little while.
I read an article that said in this trip, they will get 5% of their total career allowed radiation dose.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
Yeah, for one trip.
For one trip, that feels like, did they do something, because you got to be honest, that's like standing in front of it's like one of those things like, that's what, you always know radiation's bad when they put on the person puts that giant thing over you and they're going to do an x-ray and then the other person runs in the other room as fast as possible to hide. So they're going to do they get 5%. I wonder if they've changed something.
I know the original reason that they rotated crews the way they did, and everybody, it's like this set go on here, or this set goes on this one, this set goes on that one, was to mitigate the radiation levels that they were getting. And that's an old trick going back to Gemini.
Yeah. So, because you don't want people to, it's like, what happened to our great astronauts? Oh, I don't know, cancer. Because we kept putting through mini nuclear bombs all the time. So they're going to, what's interesting? Did you guys see the ground crew, all of they're eating the same food every day that they're eating up there. So they all have their own. So if they're eating, their beef stroganoff, but
the ground crew is eating NASA food, or they're eating the
NASA food, the same stuff, right? The dehydrated whatever, because, and they think that's kind of cool. And their playlist, because they've got their morning playlist, is, it's like the number one thing on Spotify. The world is checking it out.
I just, I would love to see the moment when one of those ground crews, one of the people in ground control, is eating something and goes, "This is garbage. How do you eat this stuff?"
Man, I hope you guys are having fun up there, because this sucks. Hope fame's worth it, guys. Good God. So that'll be, they come home Friday. They'll land in just outside of San Diego, right around 7:07 our time. They'll be splashing down. And later today, or tonight, actually, they go, they take over the ship starting tonight, right around 9 o'clock our time. So they're going to be piloting it manually to center it, get it ready. And would you say yesterday they're going to do controlled burns to just try to?
Yeah, if they need to, because there's obviously certain trajectory they need to be on, and they're constantly doing math on it. And if they, sway too far one way or the other, they just do a burn, get them right back on that course.
Nobody told me there was going to be math on this flight.
There's always math on these flights.
I hate math.
Didn't you see Hidden Figures?
Yeah, what a great movie that was. When you think about it, an amazing movie that was. That they were doing math with really no. They're in there. They're writing stuff down. It's changing everything. They're doing math. It is amazing what we can do. And then now we decided to go back.
What I found amazing in there was he was asking her to solve, when she first came over to his department, to Costner's department, he asked her if she could solve a certain issue. And they were looking at the board, and he says, maybe it's not new math at all. Maybe it's old math. And she went and did something with math that's been around for like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And that's how they figured out the problem.
Old math. Sometimes the old way is the best way, kids. That's what we're saying. And Ken and I both hate math.
If it gets you an answer. Hey, I hate math too. I failed Algebra 1 3 times. Not proud.
Could you imagine if they make you take math on an airplane to go somewhere? You're like, I'm never going anywhere ever again.
That, or I better be flying with somebody that can do the math.
Oh, Lordy, Lordy. White Woman Wednesday, they're in full effect today. And kids, this next one, I think you're going to love. I've had a couple requests. Chad, have you seen it? Oh, I've seen it. I've heard it. And it's not. I thought, there's no way this is real. It is real. It's absolutely real. Wait till you hear this. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital wants to talk to you. I was talking to my buddy Zach last night, and who runs Bulwark. And I said, "Are you guys prepared for the?" Yeah, they're like, "We're set." He goes, "You know, this ceasefire goes into effect. We're going to do all right again." So made money in the world of oil going up and doing it when it's going down. They've made. It was talking to me. Said we're up 16% just this month, and I said it's a good month, and they can help you with your investments, your retirement, and how they do it is so much different. They're not just we're going to invest in a couple tech things here and just leave your money there in a mutual fund. Their goal is to grow. And to grow in a way where it suits you, but it's all about risk management, lower risk, lower costs, lower volatility with Bulwark. It's absolutely free. They'll give you a what I call a second set of eyes on your portfolio. They'll walk you through everything, show you where you're at, if you're over leveraged in certain areas, if you're at risk for certain things, and they'll tell you what they're all about. It's simple and easy, absolutely free for you. You can sign up today at knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com for Bulwark Capital's Know Your Risk Portfolio Review, or you can check them out online at bulwarkcapital.com, bulwarkcapital.com. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investment involved risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 2647.
All right, drivers got a crash in Brentwood. This one's going to be 65 southbound there at Old Hickory Boulevard, exit 74. That ceasefire with Iran is very shaky. We'll tell you what Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt had to say about negotiations coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, Lord, do we have one coming up here? You know what time it is.
It's White Woman Wednesday. She's saving the world in a thread bank. Typing lists every sentence, then hit send and calls it present. White Woman Wednesday.
The white women are at it. Every single day they're doing stuff that is both bizarre and hilarious, and at times frightening. We got to start with our girl Kylie, though, because, you know, before we get to the insanity, let's talk about how hot Kylie's become since she's become a liberal.
I think it's so funny when people say this because I got so much hotter once I stopped being a Republican. Like, yeah, I've always looked like this, but you can see here's some pictures from when I was like 15, 16. My hair was fried as shit. I always made sure to have my cross on the outside of my shirt so that everyone would know I was a good Christian. I wore minimal jewelry, didn't really have a sense of style, never let my hair be natural or curly because even just a little wave would mean people would make fun of me for it. But yeah, I would get up every day, not use any heat protectant, and fry the shit out of my hair, like just flat iron the fuck out of it. And my foundation shade was way too dark. So this was like the first couple years of high school. And keep in mind, I went to a mix of public and private school my whole life, but mostly public. And then high school was a Catholic school, which was generally just a weird experience. But here's even a photo of me saying, oh, I'm so thankful for God. And just doing whatever I could to really fit in with that crowd, despite the fact that those bitches were mean as hell. And that I have no intention of talking to 96% of the people I went to high school with, because I know they are sitting here judging me right now.
We're all judging you. It's what we do.
And so that answers the question.
Yeah.
Why she is the way she is.
She is. Absolutely. That's right there. And now she's hot. She wasn't before. Like before, she wasn't hot. Now you look at her, you're like, whew, girl.
Apparently somebody mistreated her in school.
Yeah.
It is a good example, though, how personality can take a hot woman and make her ugly as hell.
Oh, yeah. And a voice, too, and a laugh. Can I just say this? My friend, Trav, went out with this girl. She was gorgeous, but she talked like this. We couldn't stand her. Like, oh, my God. She's just, and she was always like this. And it's just like, oh, I wish she was, if she was a mute, you'd be like, oh, yeah. Nope. Just, hey, guys, what's good? Nothing's going on. Don't talk to us. God, she's so hot, though. Now, guys, I told you about crazy. You're going to want to get ready for this one. This is the kind of crazy where you're like, what?
I can't stop thinking about how grass lawns are racist and like based in white supremacy. If that doesn't make sense, that's okay, I guess. It seems really obvious to me. It's really upsetting. Bring back weeds. Bring back clover yards. Look, can anything just be okay in its natural state, or do we just have to whitewash everything, make it a competition, and use it as a sign of your worth as a human being in society? Like, can we just have weeds?
Wait, you racist? Grass is racist? How?
Nobody is stopping her from letting weeds take over her yard.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll stop her from letting weed take over
I'll tell
her
you that
yard.
right now. Oh, God, I can't believe what's going on there. The weeds probably throwing themselves into something. Oh, man. But
when everything is racist, nothing is racist.
Yeah. When you call everybody anti-Semitic, you're like, I don't agree with the government of Israel because you hate the Jews. It's like, it at some point, it doesn't mean anything anymore. But at first I thought, this can't be real. No, it's totally real. And then you got people on there going, oh, yeah, I understand that. And the thought is, because you take care of grass means that you own the lawn, which means chances are you're white. I mean, this is in their mind. And because of that, the patriarchal system of people who used to work in plantations and stuff like that, they're always working out in the yard. And it's...
Well, what if you're paying a Hispanic to cut your grass and pull the weeds? That makes you racist too, obviously, right?
Yeah, but then you're employing somebody, so you're giving... see, it doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Yeah, but they're working for the patriarchy.
That's what it is.
It is. That's right. You're right.
It's all about that patriarchy,
Yeah, but hold on.
boys.
Oh, God. It's just... you can't win. That's the person where you're like, man, I thought Kylie was crazy. And at this point in time, she at least, I think, would be fun because Kylie, I think, knows of the wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that this has kind of become her job.
Right.
Where this girl's like, I think you have bought into the whole thing. She's the one there just pouring the Kool-Aid for everybody in Guyana. Oh, Lordy, Lordy.
I think Kylie realizes she goes to extremes because she likes those revenue sharing checks.
Yeah. And she likes the, people, she's getting noticed. Yahoo did a big thing on her, by the way. So, we've got more from Kylie, too. Again, we're going to put her right up there on the Mount Rushmore of this. It's her.
Not before me.
Well, yeah. Did you see the fake pictures of the Trump head on the moon? It's going to be great.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean,
Somebody photoshopped his face
Photoshop.
onto the
It's going to
moon.
be fantastic. I can't believe it. They're going to name the moon after me.
I didn't ask them.
I never do. It's always a surprise.
Every other country wants this.
Everybody does. I talked to them. They all want it. Nobody else thought about it but me. 5,000 years, people didn't think about naming the moon after somebody until I came along. It's going to be great. It's fantastic. Just, everything is greater and better than anything else. All right, lads and lasses, coming up, we got some other fun stuff, more on the latest from Israel, the Middle East, the Strait of Hormuz, the moon, wherever else we decide to go, because it's all happening on this crazy White Woman Wednesday. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Operation Epic Fury. Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz again because of the Israeli attacks on its proxy Hezbollah in Lebanon. So what now? Well, this is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt moments ago.
I can announce that the president is dispatching his negotiating team, led by the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, Special Envoy Witkoff, and Mr. Kushner to Islamabad for talks this weekend. The first round of those talks will take place on Saturday morning local time, and we look forward to those in-person meetings.
Rex Heuermann has pleaded guilty for the murders of 8 women on New York's Long Island. Heuermann, who prosecutors say killed the women over a 17-year period near Gilgo Beach, will be formally sentenced in June. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer says it's unclear why he decided to change his plea.
He still has an ex-wife. He still has a daughter. We know maybe a sliver or a tiny fraction of the evidence that was against him. If he was to go to trial, his entire family would see this all. And that might be a thing that he wants to spare them of, understanding that he's going to go to jail or prison, for the rest of his life.
Here in Middle Tennessee, authorities investigating a fatal forklift accident in East Nashville. Nashville Fire Department responded to a job site on Ambrose Avenue, just north of Trinity Lane and east of Ellington Parkway around 10 o'clock this morning after a worker became wedged between machinery. Emergency responders say the worker had no pulse when they arrived. The victim's identity not yet released. Nashville water customers will not get a one-time credit after January's winter storm. Metro Council voted down a bill that would have provided a $25 Metro Water Services credit, failed by 2 votes. Many customers reported unusually high bills after following guidance to let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Critics of the bill said a single flat credit didn't adequately address those larger bill spikes. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Management Weather Center.
Warming up through the weekend. I'm WSMV4 First Alert meteorologist Melanie Layden. Warm and sunny today with temperatures back in the 70s. Our lows get down to It was going to be a very dry pattern ahead as well. Little to no rainfall expected and plenty of sunshine.
USS, United Structural System. Awesome. Local, right? That's what you want. Why do you want local? Because they understand what's going on in our soil, right? Our houses. They understand the weather, how the homes behave here. That's why it matters. They've served homeowners here in Tennessee for 30 plus years, right? And continuing to grow. 30,000 local homeowners have trusted USS. They want to come out. They're going to give you a free inspection. So those cracks that you have that tell those stories about stuff, the nasty weather we just went through, did some stuff happen somewhere that you can't see? Maybe you need to have that checked out before it gets worse, whether it's your foundation, right? Is there issues with the settlement? How about the basement water intrusion, crawl space, moisture issues, so much more? Get the guesswork out of there. Don't do it. Experts in diagnosing, this is what USS is. So this is what I want you to do. Call them today, 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. They understand. Their repair solutions are engineered to stand up to our local conditions. That's USS. 615-488-7855 or online at USSTN.com. A lot of people talking about the serial killer. Was it Gilgo Beach? Gal Beach?
Gilgo Beach.
Yeah.
Was he burying them on the beach?
Well, near the beach.
Because I remember hearing a story about a serial killer that was dumping the bodies either on the beach or close to it or something like that. I'm just wondering if it's the same guy.
Yeah, he was dismembering them and then spreading them out, if you will, just in very, desolate areas.
That sounds like the story.
Yeah, I think it was. Because he was it was 3 decades? It was a while. The guy did. God, he pleaded guilty because he didn't want his family to think anything less than they already do, that their dad was a killer and your husband, the guy you slept with every night, who gave you your life as far as your house and all this stuff and your kids, was out murdering people and chopping them into bits and pieces. He spared them because he knew he was going to jail, and I bet there's a lot more out there that's... Jeez. God, it's just, how insane is that? You get to that point. Bill, how'd you get to that point?
A lot of TV, a lot of television.
A lot of TV. It's very busy. TV. It's Andy Griffin. He did it.
I watched a little too much Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
Oh, God, I love that show. Phenomenal show. Phenomenal. You guys can always call and leave us messages, and on the text line. Tell everybody's text line, Bill.
615-737-9986 or WWTN.
Yes. And try not to use vulgarity, right?
Because you can't play it on the air if you
Well, then I got to go listen and beep, and I'm not always perfect with it. Why? Because sometimes people will cuss 1,000 times, and no matter how many times I think I catch it, I don't catch everything. I'm not perfect, okay? What do you think I am?
I had to beep that last piece of audio you used because there was a F-bomb in it.
Yeah. Just insane. But people calling in about, was it a win or a loss when it comes to Iran and us?
Chad, whatever kind of spin you put on that was something that needed to have been done. It should have been done 45 years ago. Could they have done a whole lot more? Yeah, I think he should have went a little bit further. I'm not talking about nuclear bombs. I think he should have just blowed up everything they had. Simply because they've been a boil on the U.S.'s butt for over 45 years. I mean, I remember when all that stuff happened. The Shah of Iran, I remember every bit of it. I remember they took the U.S. hostages they had forever till Ronald Reagan took office and got them released by some kind of negotiation, whatever you want to call it. But they've been a boil on the U.S.'s butt forever. And if anything else, it showed them that the U.S. will no longer take their BS. Tell them we'll take their BS and stick it right back to them. So you can put whatever kind of spin you want on it. Do I think it was a win? Yeah, I do. Was it a big win? No, not exactly a big win because we have to see how everything shakes out. But it's definitely a win. And anyway, that's just my opinion.
That's awesome. We love people giving opinions. Feel free to do it. Like I say, we pivot from a lot of stuff. People say, why don't you do phone calls? Because we do 1,000 different things, right? We're on to something else, But was this a win, a loss? You know what it is? It's nothing because we're not finished with it. There is no end of war. It's a ceasefire that's already kind of gone sideways. And, everybody's like, well, in Iran, why are they, stopping the Strait of Hormuz? Well, they said in their 10-point whatever it was, you got to stop bombing our allies. So obviously we're talking over each other because the reason is they're reporting that they won. We're reporting that we won. And the reality of it is it ain't over yet.
And you can't get into bombing them to the point where you're blowing up critical infrastructure that the population needs, not the government, not the overlords, but the regular Iranian who is just as the head of their anti-government as anybody else is.
Yeah.
If they're suddenly having to live in the dark, or they're suddenly can't keep food in their refrigerator because there's no electricity, or they're having to worry about their apartment building being hit because it's next to a power plant, all you're going to do is alienate those people, and they'll end up propping up the regime because the regime had electricity going.
Yes.
The regime had garbage pickup happening.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The regime allowed you to have 4 walls and a roof. And that's not there. One of the things yesterday, everybody's like, oh, did you see they're making, everybody hold hands and get in front of power plants? And they're all forced to do it. Their biggest protester, he's kind of like their rock star. I guess for them, I don't know, but he's been in a lot of trouble with them. He's been jailed. He's been all those kind of things. He went out and got in front of one of their biggest power plants. And as much as he wants the regime to fall, what he doesn't want is everybody's life to be destroyed, because that doesn't help them at all, and it hurts them. And then he realizes that there's that other effect, that knock-on effect, which is that we're not paying attention to. So, which is all of a sudden now you're creating other people that are going to hate us in the future. And how do we get rid of the top and the people that, want to do all the horrible things, and at the same time ingratiate ourselves and get them to, because they're not, everybody thinks it's not North Korea. They have the internet. They see the world. So, they're blocked from something, but they see everything that we do. Go look at pictures of and videos of, them in like the mall. The mall looks the same as like a lot of our malls, except there's kids in there. Because
there's actually people in their malls.
People in there. They got, they're at the Panda Express kind of stuff they're doing. And it looks they want the same things we do, because this younger generation doesn't remember the Shah. The revolution that they've lived under was mom and dad's revolution that they want no part of. They want opportunities to have freedom and mobility. And that's what we want to, but bombing them to death isn't going to build up, a love for us and a love for the West and opportunities. So, guys, you want to hear my little theory about why we need $1.5 trillion? You guys ready for this?
Well,
for our defense?
Because we need more debt, and we want to have the largest military in the Army to go with that debt.
And why we've been going in debt at a rate of speed that's insane. You want to know why? Aliens. We're building something.
For the aliens?
To work with them, to do. We're doing something. We're doing something. This is, again, me just throwing stuff out there, just having fun with it. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But did you ever see the movie? I'm just trying to think. It was the one with Tay Leone and Morgan Freeman. They all came out. Armageddon came out, and then the other one came out at the same time, where it was going to smash into the earth. And
Deep Impact.
Yeah, Deep Impact. That's what it was. They said, look, we can't hide it anymore. The budget's completely busted. When they finally had to realize they had to come out, we're spending $5 trillion on something in a short period of time where we got to have to come out. I think that's what it is. We're doing stuff with the aliens, and they're trying to get stuff ready. Who knows?
Then why did we send Artemis up to bomb them?
How do you know we didn't?
That's what I'm saying. It's like we sent Artemis up to orbit the moon, bomb the aliens, and come back.
40 minutes they were gone.
Yeah.
That we couldn't see. And that's what they say.
You can drop a lot of bombs in 40 minutes.
That's what they say. That's what you have no idea whether. But you know what? Look, that's a plausible thing that we're building something. What was that movie? Remember Contact?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when he goes, want to take a ride? Because he built the other one. The other one blew up because Gary Busey's son blew it up. Then they built another one. Maybe that's it.
The billionaire had one on the other side of the planet.
Was that John Hurt floating around in space?
I think it was.
Yeah, see? So I'm just saying, it's something to think about, kids. It's something to think about. Where you're like, oh, this is a lot faster than normal. Maybe there is alien stuff and that we're doing something. Maybe the hybrid thing is real. Man, because I tell you what, Burchett's out there all the time, dadgummit.
What about what Gates said? I mean, he practically gave up the story.
Yeah, he did. And again, yesterday we talked a little bit about Burchett's walking to that line. He's not quite the habitual line stepper we want, but we need. And he's saying everybody else is telling him it's real. He's seen stuff, and we all need to know the truth. And he doesn't think they're dangerous. And he goes back to this over and over again. As the ocean. You know, we talk about like space, the final frontier. We know more about space than we do the bottom of the ocean. Think about that. All that stuff that we talk about, we know way more about space than the giant, because one of the things he talked about is something he, I guess, saw, something that's 2 football fields long, moving at 200 miles an hour in the ocean. That's a lot of speed right there.
Especially underwater.
Underwater, I know. Do you think it was Aquaman? I don't think he's too...
As long as they stay away from Atlantis, I don't think he has an issue.
Oh, Atlantis. You know Atlantis is there. Atlantis is... They're all mixed up in it.
I hear the traffic there is terrible.
It's like DFW. It's like Dallas-Fort Worth. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, how cool would it be if there was, like, Aquaman type? That would be neat. Merman?
Merman.
What's up? I'm a merman. Pretty cool.
That's what Aquaman is.
Well, is it?
He's half fish.
He's half fish.
You can breathe underwater and talk to critters.
Talk to critters. Not all critters, though, right? Like, if he went into an estuary and he couldn't talk to a bluegill, right?
Yeah, he could.
He could?
Absolutely.
So it's all
fishes and things that live under the water.
Okay.
Have a great conversation with an octopus.
Yeah, probably. But I'm just saying, I mean, you don't know. Maybe he could. But I didn't know if he was just confined to salt water. Like, if you threw him in a pool, he'd be like, I can't breathe underwater.
No, he's fine with the fresh water, too.
Okay, see. Look, you know this stuff. That's what I love about.
Way to
know
go,
this
Brother
stuff.
Bilal.
He knows that. Didn't know my song, but I'll tell you what. He knew. By the way, Ken, you are in the lead on the songs.
For right now, anyway.
For right now. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Ron just voted for me.
Oh, okay. Well, what are you going to do with Ron, right? Like, he does that sometimes. Goodness me. It's the hidden city of Atlantis. They're not hiding anymore. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that what happened in the Aquaman movie?
Well, I was telling you about that article I saw the other day when we were out there show prepping, and they found a sunken city off the coast of Cuba.
It's all happening.
Yeah.
I saw The Abyss. I know how this works. Ed Harris is going to go way too far down, and then that thing's going to rescue him. It's going to be interesting.
James Cameron has never needed that.
No, he has never needed that. Well, he's James Cameron. You know, that originally he was going to do Aquaman. And he had obviously, pushback and stuff, but he built that thing that they did The Abyss in for the Aquaman movie.
And then he was like, no, I want to do a different water movie.
Yeah.
He was originally supposed to be the first Spider-Man movie director.
Oh, my God. But it was too easy to do. He's like, no, I need to do Earth. And next it's going to be salt and pepper. What is it? Avatar, salt and pepper. Cayenne pepper.
They do a Cajun version.
Cayenne pepper. We come here to do stuff and to do stuff bad. Take all your cayenne pepper and your cinnamon.
Yes, yeah.
I guarantee it's going to happen. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. All right, coming up, more White Woman Wednesday. They are white women. People are like, why are you guys doing this? Because it's fun. They're insane, and insane makes us laugh. Okay? That's why we do it. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Relief Factor is awesome. Take it every single day. And you're like, why? Because I'm working out more, losing weight. Look how big my shirt is. It's massive on me. And it's because I can work out more. My knees don't hurt. I'm playing tons of pickleball. I'm running up and down stairs. I cannot believe trying to get my cardiovascular back up. I love it. And it helps me with my inflammation in my joints and especially my muscles. And inflammation, let's be honest, some of the food we eat may not be great for this, and inflammation is out there. It's a big thing this year. Got to take care of it, and this is what it combats. It's got natural stuff in it, omega-3 fatty acids, or resveratrol, all this kind of stuff that's just incredible. And right now, you can try it for $19.95. So they're going to lose money on it at first, but it's a 3-week quick start. And the goal is to show you this is how much we believe in our product. And you'll believe in it as well. Stop living in pain. Get out of it right now with Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF. 800, the number 4, RELIEF for Relief Factor.
All right, the ceasefire with Iran, very, very shaky after what Israel keeps doing in Lebanon. The Justice Department says Pam Bondi doesn't have to testify on the Epstein files. We'll tell you about it at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Wait, what? The Justice Department that she used to run, who hid everything about all the pedos that were hiding?
She tried to claim that it was the title that had been subpoenaed. And since she didn't have that title anymore, she didn't have to testify.
It's kind of like whenever Bill Clinton said, it depends on what the definition of is.
I know.
Is.
You said that I have sex with her. That is a no. I didn't say she didn't have sex with some of me. Giggity. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jess.
There's so much red pill content aimed at women online right now, but it doesn't look like you'd expect. Because unlike the manosphere content made for men, the content made for women isn't as loud, isn't as aggressive, it's not as openly misogynistic because it's all in the subtext. When you think of red pill content for men, you think of Andrew Tate or more recently Cavicular. Content that openly says women are less than men. It's very explicit, it's aggressive, it's often violent. But when that same messaging is sold to women, it looks different. It's quieter, softer, it's aesthetic. It's even framed as empowerment. It tells you to lean into your femininity. Embrace soft living, marry a provider. Traditional values in your divine feminine.
No, really? Yeah, no way. Is there anything more you can tell me?
On the surface, it can sound harmless. It sounds like a trend. But this is the very language that has historically been used to enforce strict gender rules, ideas of purity, rigid expectations about who belongs where in society. I mean, I'm telling you, these same type of trends always emerge in fascist regimes. And you might hear that and be like, okay, I still don't see the harm. Isn't the point that women get to choose what life they want? But this is so much larger than individual choice. It's actually this language that weaponizes this illusion of choice. Because the goal is to push women out of public life, out of political power, away from economic control. And women have always been tasked with enforcing this ideology at the household level. They need a little bit of buy-in from women so that it becomes easier to accept at the policy level. So women are being told that submission is empowering, and that's only because of the messaging that's being sold to men that says power and dominance and control are their birthright. Those messages are not separate, they're designed to work together, and they reinforce the more dominant one.
Wow. Do you guys know that? Man, I have no idea. Like every day I learn something new from 24-year-old overeducated white women. Good God. They know how the world works. And let me tell you something, guys. Submission.
They've shaken off the shackles of the patriarchy, and that's why they're qualified to educate you.
Absolutely. Toxic masculinity. We're going to be talking about it. Oh, God, it's everywhere. Don't get it on you because you're going to have to get a shot. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Yeah, Iran is accusing the U.S. now of violating 3 clauses of the framework for a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, saying the ceasefire and negotiations with the U.S. are, quote, unreasonable. Meanwhile, President Trump said that the recent ceasefire, he says, that was struck did not include Lebanon. Israel has launched one of its most aggressive strikes in and around Beirut, and the head of the Lebanese Red Cross is claiming civilian casualties are in the hundreds. We get more from ABC's Britt Clinette in Doha, Qatar.
Iran has vowed now to deliver a regretful response if Israel doesn't halt Lebanon attacks. We know that Iran has condemned Israel's what it calls brutal massacre in Beirut. That's according to a statement shared by Tasnim news agency there. It went on to say if the aggressions against our beloved Lebanon are not stopped immediately, we will give a regretful response to the evil aggressors in the region.
Israel says it is attacking Hezbollah sites, and the Justice Department says a House oversight subpoena compelling former Attorney General Pam Bondi to testify on the Epstein files is no longer valid. Department of Justice argues the subpoena applied only to her official role, and Bondi was removed from office last week. Lawmakers from both parties say, no, they're not backing down. The woman prosecutors dubbed the ketamine queen has been sentenced to 15 years in federal prison in connection with actor Matthew Perry's death. Jasphine Asenga admitted to supplying the ketamine that caused the Friends star fatal overdose in 2023. Perry found dead in a hot tub at his home, and his death was ruled accidental. 2 more defendants in the case still waiting sentencing later this month. Rex Heuermann pleading guilty today for the murders of 8 women on New York's Long Island. Heuermann, who prosecutors say killed the women over a 17-year period near Gilgo Beach, will be formally sentenced in June. Here's Aaron Katursky.
All the victims, young sex workers whose remains were found starting in 1993 along the shoreline near Gilgo Beach and elsewhere here on Long Island. The architect and father has pleaded not guilty and was preparing to stand trial in September, and prosecutors said they amassed DNA evidence from a hair on burlap used to wrap some of the victims and pizza crust in the trash outside Heuermann's Manhattan office.
Prosecutors say Heuermann's going to get 3 consecutive life sentences with no possibility of parole. Here in Nashville, a construction site accident claimed a life this morning in East Nashville. Fire crews were called to Ambrose Avenue, just east of Ellington Parkway, north of Trinity Lane, after a worker was trapped between a forklift and other equipment. Metro Police trying to figure out what caused that accident. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
What's up, party people? Happy hour number 3 of the program. Award-winning program. No awards given out until a little bit later. Right now, Ken is in the lead. One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Feeling good.
I would disagree with that.
Bell would disagree with that, but we've got it coming up in a little bit. Your vote matters. You can mail it in, too, literally. By the way, somebody said, you guys really don't know what the hell you're doing. Wing it. Phone it in. What are we talking about?
No mailing in the votes on One Hit Wonder Wednesday. We're not mailing in any votes.
No, I got called a knothead.
No, I think he was talking to me.
Was it? Are you a knothead?
Yeah.
What exactly is a knothead?
Just somebody.
Does it have to do with your? Is this a man bun?
I don't know. I made the comment that it's not meant to be a political show. Just
it's everything. Right? Think about this. If you talk to your friends all day about politics,
you're weird.
Yeah, you're weird. I have friends who are in politics. You know, we don't talk about politics because we got kids, we got life. No, you're weird.
It's like you and I, when we're getting ready for the show, we'll talk about something Trump said. We'll talk about your lizards out in Arizona. We'll end up talking about your daughter and why she stays up till 3 a.m. We'll talk about how my psychiatrist always sends the stuff to the wrong pharmacy.
Always.
And, and how I'm driving a rental because my car got hit by Dawn Davenport over on the Zone, and she's on 3HL.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dawn.
You're welcome.
You got to bring those lizards in studio, dude.
Okay. I'll bring my lizards in. They're going to come out.
Regarding that one video you sent me, do you not trim those things' nails?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
That thing looked like it could have ripped the wall apart.
It doesn't matter. My lizards, their nails.
What was that, 5 feet?
Yeah, so
they're big boys.
Some of my lizards, their nails are ferocious. Some of them are dull, but they're strong.
Yeah.
In fact, Winston, my Winnie.
Winston.
He is the Cuban rock one. He didn't cut me, but his nails dug in and dragged across. And you know how, like, when you do that with your arm, it'll leave a little white mark or something? They've never gone away. So, and he's my boy. He's my dog. He's my dog.
That's a digging reptile, isn't it?
Yeah, Winnie will go and dig, and he'll stay underneath, especially in the winter. He'll go put himself. They'll go and hibernate. They ruminate. They'll go and just kind of sleep off and on And my giant tortoise.
But when you have claws that long, when he was trying to climb up on the countertop, when you see claws that long, that's digging.
Yeah,
that's meant for digging.
And when tearing too, because they'll take down animals way bigger, so they have to be able to take and tear apart and open up portions of their body so they can get in there. So it's hey, but
your lizard has terrible kitchen manners, by the way.
Not good. Not good. Not good. And Winston was great because out in Arizona, because he loves the heat and stuff, he uses the doggy door.
Really?
Yep, all the time. Goes in and out.
Did you have to train him, or did you just figure it out?
I showed it to him once, and he's like, okay, cool, this is what I do.
Got
cool,
it.
I'm out of here. I'm going to go outside. There's some stuff going on outside that I need to be aware of. So be prepared for that. By the way, there's also a tortoise out here. I think I might be friends with him, but I'm going to bite one of these cats because I'm kind of like Alf.
So do you think he might eat one of the cats?
No, but he didn't want to eat because he doesn't eat any kind of protein really. But he every once in a while he goes, I need to make sure you're real. Oh yeah, you're real. And he'll come walking in, and he'll have just fur sticking out of his mouth, and the cat's just like looking at him like, you guys. Hey, that Gilgo Beach killer. How many people do you think he killed? Are they saying that there's more out there?
He pled guilty to 8. And I haven't seen anything yet whether they're wondering if more are out there. I think he was only accused of 7.
Okay.
But he pled guilty today to 8.
Really?
Yeah.
And he was doing this for 17 years, you said?
17 years. He started in, they think that he started in 1993 and then did it over a 17-year period.
So that's basically one every 2 years, which seems like a really long cooling down period.
Yeah. He kept meticulous record of his kills and like instructions for himself.
Really?
On how to,
like a way to relive
to get rid of the evidence. Like, reminders to burn this, burn that, where to, how to dispose of the bodies and that sort of thing.
That's a, God, what a twisted.
That's a sociopath,
like,
man.
You know there are people out there that they keep souvenirs
yes.
of their victims, but they don't write down the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's a twisted. God, what a just.
And I mean, for all intents and purposes, everybody, he had a professional job. I mean, he was a pretty good paying job, lived in a, nice neighborhood. Nobody suspected him of anything. But there's, apparently all of this would happen apparently whenever his wife and his kids were not at home. He would apparently, call up these women in the sex trade and do terrible things to them.
Dennis Rader had he was a family man.
Well, Ted Bundy had a girlfriend with a kid. Like, how do you square that circle?
Yeah.
You don't. There's like two sides of your personality going to work there.
And the fact that they can pull it off for that long is also so bizarre.
Right.
There's you guys, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. There was a contract killer named Richard Kluzinski, who they called him the Iceman. And how many people he killed, nobody knows. But Michael Shannon played him in the movie. But the reason they called him the Iceman, because apparently he made bullets one time out of ice just to see if he could do it and what would happen to him.
Good.
And he put people with ice. It was just, he killed people with a crossbow, all kinds of wacky stuff. I mean, the guy was nuts. But
was he mobbed?
He worked for the mob. He wasn't mobbed, but he did all the hits for them. Like, he wasn't like, you didn't come up and go, oh, my bully's mean. He's not taking that money.
House painter.
But he had a regular life with a family. They knew nothing until the day he was arrested. Not a thing about what he did. Like, it was crazy. His wife and kids never once suspected him. He said he killed over 100 people, mostly for the Gambino family. So, but it was, and when you watch him, because they did this interview, HBO did the Iceman tapes. And first of all, he was terrifying. Secondly, just the whole, like, the fact that his family knew nothing.
Yeah.
The way that he could just come home and cuddle his kids and hang out with them, and they do Christmas together, and then he would go, I got to go out for something, and they go out and kill somebody and come right back as if nothing happened.
As if nothing ever happened.
It's just scary to think that you can turn that part of your brain off where you feel any kind of remorse or concern about the people you're killing, then go home to your family and not have similar thoughts about your family.
Right.
Yeah. Like, especially like, man, like, because he was a contract killer. He didn't, it's horrible as it is. The reason they didn't catch him for a long time is because he's usually killing other scumbags. And it's not like, hey, let's put everybody on this. But when you're a serial killer and you've got daughters, a lot of them, they have daughters and kids, and you're doing that. It's like, how do you come back and you look and you got kids and you got a wife and you're doing that?
Well, didn't BTK had a couple of kids, didn't he?
Yep.
And I saw something yesterday. I think it was on X, where they had released pictures of him dressing up in his victim's clothing and binding himself so he looked like he was the one that was roped up. And it was just weird looking.
It is.
And this was a church, a church deacon, and he worked for the state in, not animal control, but he worked for the state parks or something.
Yeah.
Like that. And just on the surface was a nice guy who was a career murderer.
That's just so, like, because you think, do they, because there's times where they'll kill, and then they'll go 8 years and not do anything.
Right.
And then they kill. So what happens where you just are switching it off? No, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
That to me is just so weird.
Well, BTK went what was it, like, I want to say 15 years, but that sounds too long. He was on a killing spree for a while and then stopped, and nothing came up again until the slip up he made and got arrested because he was dumb enough to ask the cops if he typed a letter out of a printer, would they be able to tell what printer was used? And they said no, which actually you can.
Yeah, they fooled him.
Yeah, and that's how they caught him. But he hadn't killed anybody in years at that point.
Man, and just, I'm just somebody said, well, they're psychopaths. They have no conscience. They don't, and they usually pick people too that, like we said, they're sex workers. They're people that if they went missing, maybe they just took off, or nobody really cares.
Right.
But the point being, that they're psychopaths and they're emotionally stunted with the way they treat these people and how they get to that point. But then they go home to their family, and then suddenly they're able to treat them warmly and humanly.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're Ward Cleaver.
It is like another human being that looked like them did that. And that is, well, somebody just said soldiers go out and kill. Yeah, but that's different. You're defending yourself. Unless, of course, have you guys looked at the story of the soldier in Australia
I saw a headline on that. He's like Australia's most decorated soldier.
He's meetings with the Queen. He's been called the greatest. He won the greatest dad in Australia award. He is all of the things. And then his team came out and goes, oh, dude's a psychopath. He tortured and killed how many of the Taliban and just individuals. He would just walk over and shoot a civilian. Wow. And so now he's being arrested for war crimes. And it's another one of those things where it's like the facade of the great dad and all of the things, and he's a star, he's a TV star, he's all killer.
And he'll go kill a civilian, he'll put a bullet in the civilian's head, then go back to his teammates and be like, all right, man, we're good.
Yes. Yeah. And
you're my boys.
Because he was part of the Australia's version of I guess Green Berets or the Navy SEALs. And they said, he would be standing there and we'd be interviewing people that we thought maybe or maybe weren't Taliban. And one time he goes, he's just standing there and we're on the side of this cliff and this guy's got stuff around, he's got, his hands are zipped and he just looks at us and he's talking and he just kicks the guy over to his death and he just keeps talking to us as if nothing happened. And the guy we didn't think it was Taliban. We didn't know who was who.
Wow.
And it sounds like at the moment he certainly was no threat.
Yes. And then this is where weird stuff came out. They dug up in his backyard. He had 2 terabytes of stuff, pictures he had taken and stuff over there of things that he had done.
Wow.
So, but he was imagine being the greatest hero of all. That he's their Rambo and everything rolled up into one, Pat Tillman and all of that stuff. And then come to find out that he's a psycho. Just insane. All right, coming up, a lot of stuff still like White Woman Wednesday. And will Ken get his first win on One Hit Wonder Wednesday? Will it be Bell to grab number 3? Will I grab the 3rd? We will find this out and so much more. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital. Talk to my buddies over there. Doing quite well this year when it comes to investing, whether it's your retirement or your investments. They look at things differently. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. What can they do to maximize what you work so hard for? They need, first and foremost, it's all about risk management. They tell me this all the time. Risk management, because you know what? You can't grow if you lose. And so you've got to be prepared for that. But losing doesn't mean you have to lose. Meaning things go up, things go down. You can take advantage of selling as much as you can, hoping everything goes up. And on top of that, they have a global outlook. They would love to talk to you about what it is they're doing. I was talking to my buddy Zach, 16% this month. That's what they're up. Why? Because oil. And they were prepared for it yesterday as well, as they were telling me in the way that they invest. It's incredible. And they work with me. They work with my family. I think you guys will find they can do a lot for you. So why don't you sign up for a free Know Your Risk portfolio review? Go to knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com. Or check them out at bulwarkcapitalmanagement.com. Investment advisors served off through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance, not guarantee future results. Trek 2648.
All right, drivers, we've got crashes in the way. We've got 24 eastbound just south of Bell Road, 24 eastbound at I-440, Fessler's Lane near Lebanon Pike. There are reports suggesting Iran has stopped oil tankers from going through the Strait of Hormuz again. We'll tell you about that coming up at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
It's Wednesday coming up. One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Will Ken get his first win? Will Bell grab number 3? Will I get number 3 for any of that crazy white chicks?
It's White Woman Wednesday. She's saving the world in a thread.
Oh, they are saving the world, aren't they? If it wasn't for them, what will we have, guys?
Well, that's their job to let the world know about threats like us.
Yes, it is absolutely.
White men.
Is.
Can't have them.
No, can't. Shouldn't. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of all ages, if you are MAGA, there's 3 types of you, and Kylie knows all 3, and some of you can be saved and others, well, you can't.
Like any cult with MAGA, there are different levels of investment. Understanding the inner workings of it is going to be crucial in getting people the out. There are typically 3 levels that I would say. Number 1 is the person who was raised in that type of environment. I'm 23, so I was sort of brought up in that MAGA environment even before MAGA had a name. And there are some people who left like me. I was around 17 and I was like, this is stupid. But there are plenty of people who are just MAGA because their family is MAGA, because it's a cultural and social movement. And we can totally convert those people. Number 2 are the people who are a little bit more intense, who are the people who are like, yeah, I vote for Trump because of my taxes, or some thing that they say, spew out, oh, my propaganda. But still, their entire identity is tied to being MAGA. All their friends are MAGA. Their church members, every single person they interact with is a MAGA. It's a community. And number 3 is obviously the diehard Trump supporter, the J6er, the raging white supremacist. And I would say that tier 3 are the people that we're going to simply just have to let go. But I think we really need to focus on the first 2 tiers if we want to get people out and dismantle it, because MAGA is not going to go away when Trump dies. And tier 3 are like often violent.
Like often violent. Like you can't stop them all day. That's all they do is violence. Just non-stop violence. The first 2 tiers, we got a shot at saving them, guys. Those other 2 tiers, the 8th tier, the 9th tier, which are ninjas that only wear the white ninja outfit. They're like, we're not wearing a black ninja outfit. I'll tell you that right now. But you know what? All kidding aside, do you want to know the insanity of why we poke fun of this? It's because somewhere along the line, we decided, oh, masculinity's bad. And when that happens, bad things happen and crazy things happen where we take our eye off the ball. Case in point, this lady pointing it out to all of us.
It's so hard to quantify that, right? So when people come to me and say, what have been the negative effects of the great feminization? That, I think, is at the very top of my list. That's one of the most important ones, that if you've got HR ladies planted in every single institution and who see it as their mission to get rid of exactly that maverick type of personality, there's so much innovation that we're missing out on, but we don't know what would have been. One of the cancellations that affected me very emotionally, very deeply, was, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the astronomer or astrophysicist who had just like landed a satellite on a comet or something really impressive like that, but he was wearing the T-shirt with the scantily clad ladies on it. It was like a bowling T-shirt.
I remember this.
Yeah, and somebody said, oh no, he's got scantily clad women on his T-shirt, and they put him through a struggle session for disrespecting women. And I was thinking, this guy just landed a satellite on a comet. Focus on that. He's so impressive, and you're putting him through this horrible public shaming. But that's the way wokeness works. It doesn't even register to these people that this guy has done something deeply scientifically impressive, that he might be a singular human being. For all you know, he might be the only person on the planet who could have done that. And all you care about is the shirt he's wearing.
His name was Dr. Matt Taylor. Okay, you guys remember this. The comet was coming, and it was the Project Rosetta. It was this drone thing that he landed on it. One of the only people. The shirt he was wearing was, he's really inked up. He's kind of into the 50s. It was like a Betty Page and all kinds of pinup girls.
Oh, yeah.
Women went, the Kylies of the world went crazy. He landed something that was not very big on a rock moving in space at 40,000 miles an hour, and they were upset because he was problematic. And he needed to go. And this is before England lost its mind. This was like 2014, and the Brits are like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen enough. In fact, we gave him an award because he landed something on a freaking rock. Yeah.
Penis repellent.
all day, every day. Can't stop themselves. They don't know what to do. It's just insane. People are asking questions. Why can't we just, go and stop the Iranians? Because big, giant boats that cost hundreds of millions of dollars aren't going to take the chance of cruising on through if they're not going to be protected and insured. And despite what we say, which is we've destroyed everything they've ever had, all they have is rocks. Their rocks magically, when they're in the air, turn into drones and missiles.
Apparently, yes.
Because they're wizards. And that's why nobody's taking the chance.
Yeah,
so
they are apparently still pretty lethal.
Yeah.
Are you going to take that, Ken?
What's that?
He just compared you to an Iranian throwing a rock.
Ken's a weather wizard.
But he's still a wizard.
These guys are sticks and stone wizards. Totally different thing.
I think Ken should have the exclusive on wizard.
Okay, well, then they know magic. Okay, how's that?
Okay, that's better.
They're magicians.
Magicians?
They're magicians. Hey, look at me. Hey, look over here. Look over here. Believe everything I say. Well, magicians. All right, guys, it's time to get serious. Full contact. One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Each one of us have a song. We put it up. You guys vote. The winner gets the ginormous belt if you're watching at home on the tube of the U. Thanks to our good friends over at the magical world of the Wellness Institute of Nashville. You get yourself...
Careful, you're going to throw your back out and have to go back
That's
to
right.
wellness.
Says the One Hit Wonder champion, one famous song. I've won it twice. Bell's won it twice. Ken is efforting...
I haven't won it at all.
...for his first victory. Will he get it next? We are going to find out all that and so much more straight ahead. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997.
.2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Drivers, we've got crashes. 24 eastbound at 440, 24 eastbound at Bell Road, Lebanon Pike, Andrew Jackson Parkway, Fessler's Lane near Lebanon Pike. It's not even rush hour yet. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Operation Epic Fury. There are reports suggesting that Iran has stopped oil tankers from going through the Strait of Hormuz because of Israel's continued attacks on Hezbollah sites in Lebanon. At the White House press briefing today, Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back on those reports.
This is a case of what they're saying publicly is different privately. We have seen an uptick of traffic in the Strait today, and I will reiterate the president's expectation and demand that the Strait of Hormuz is reopened immediately, quickly, and safely. That is his expectation. It has been relayed to him privately that is what's taking place, and these reports publicly are false.
Yeah, she said Vice President J.D. Vance and others are going to travel to Pakistan for talks with Iran this weekend. Former Attorney General Pam Bondi may not have to testify before the House Oversight Committee next week on the Epstein files. This after the Justice Department declared the panel's subpoena effectively moot. DOJ officials say the subpoena was issued to Bondi only in her official capacity, a role she no longer holds after getting fired. Oversight leaders reject that argument. They say congressional oversight does not end with her firing. The committee now signaling it may reschedule the deposition and pursue enforcement options. Jasmine Senga, the woman known as the ketamine queen, sentenced today to 15 years in prison for providing the ketamine that killed actor Matthew Perry. Here's Melissa Adon.
In court, there were moving victim impact statements, including from Matthew Perry's stepmother, who said, quote, "The pain you caused is irreversible. You clearly had a talent for making money, but you chose to hurt people. How sad."
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys and gals, our friends over at the Wellness Institute of Nashville who gave us this giant bell for One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Guess what? You need to get over and see him. Dr. Mitchell, my doctor, should be your doctor as well. Spinal decompression, right? Nobody does it better than Dr. Mitchell. 47% off right now, non-surgical decompression. And that includes the opportunity to bring your MRI, you're going to get your x-rays, you're going to diagnose, and then the opportunity to do something that is incredible. Nobody else can do it in Tennessee. That's the HydroWave. What? That's going to stimulate your very own stem cells, which helps promote healing. It's incredible. If you're in pain, you're thinking, I'm always in pain. No. Get out of it and do it with Wellness Institute of Nashville today. Save 47% right now. Call them. Make an appointment. 615-246-5009. 615-246-5009. Check them out online at painisbad.com. Painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling presents Spring Breathe Easy Package, designed to help homeowners clear out the dust, allergens, and pet dander before summer heat arrives. So, what do they have? Amazing packages. AC tune-up plus professional indoor air quality check to make sure what? Your air in your house, so your family breathes is clean and healthy. You're also going to receive duct inspection, not a duck, but duct inspection. Premium air duct cleaning, removing the buildup debris hiding deep inside your system, because we know it's there. You turn it on, you're like, everybody feels bad after that. That's not all, though. Whole home germicidal system right now to help reduce airborne contaminants. You got the premium service, bonus unit fog deodorizer. So many amazing things. Too much to list. And right now, you're going to save big. How about this? $11.99 on a 1.5 3-ton system, regularly $1,800, or $15.99, 3.5 to 5-ton units, regularly $2,100. Call Busy Bee today. They're amazing. 615-775-7833. Visit them online at busybeehvac.com. So we're tallying up the first round of votes. So the way the One Hit Wonder works here every Wednesday is we all come up with a song, tell the story behind the song. It's a one-hit wonder. They came and they disappeared. Sometimes they stick around, and sometimes they're just a little bit different folks. But we tell you that, then you vote. And the person with the most votes wins. I've won twice. Bell's won twice. Ken, the goose egg.
Big old goose egg. I didn't shut out.
That's what you get for going on vacation. Maybe you'll learn next time.
But today could be his day. So far, Ken's in the lead. Who will win? One Hit Wonder Wednesday. Now it's time for another
edition of One Hit Wonder Wednesday. You may not remember the name of the band, you definitely know the song. This is One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
Interesting. I had somebody wanted a ruling, and I thought, that's very interesting. I never thought of that. If we have a one-hit wonder, right, so they go and they have it, and maybe it's in the 2000s, and then they come back and they have a hit later on, does that disqualify that one hit?
Yeah, because they've achieved a second hit.
But you did it prior to the second hit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if they're a one-hit wonder at a certain point, but then they break that by becoming a two-hit wonder, then it didn't disqualify it the first time, but you can't use them again.
Okay. So I want to make sure. We're trying to get all the rulings here because the belt is right here, and it is amazing. We're going to start with Young Bell, who's come up with one today that he was, oh, I'm going to win. I'm the big winner. You guys can't stop me.
It's a humdinger.
You both suck.
Yeah. So let's see what you got.
Mine is by a man that released over 60 records. You'd think you could have had more than a hit off putting that many records out. Had every member of his band at one point sing lead, either live or on record. He sang lead, but for the song that I picked, he had his daughter sing lead, and her name was Moon Unit. Well, if it'll play.
I'm a father girl.
And one other claim to fame that Mr. Zappa has is he was the first person to give the Alice Cooper Band a record deal.
Really?
Yep. He signed them to Strait Records after they auditioned for him at 7 a.m. when he had told them to come by at 7, meaning p.m. And he signed them because he specifically said he didn't get it. And that's what the record label was supposed to be about.
Oh, so the weirder, there's like, I have no idea what's going on. You guys need something.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, I'm looking up his kids. So Moon Unit, she's an actress.
Diva's the one I didn't even know about.
Diva.
I didn't know she existed.
Yeah, Diva's the youngest of all of them. And she is a diva. There's Gail. Man, imagine being Gail, where they're just like, we're going to give you a regular name. You've got the weirdest name of all. You're Gail. Or whatever. I don't know. Dweezil. This Dweezil's the one. He had a hit, didn't he, at one time?
Not a hit, but he had a record that did pretty well on the rock side of things and a little bit on MTV. It was called My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama.
I had no idea he was with Lisa Loeb for a long time.
Yeah, I was out with them on the road when they were dating.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of
town. Way to go, Brother Bilal.
And one time we were backstage before he was playing guitar with her when she was performing. She was doing acoustic and he did electric. And at one point we're talking and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I called him Dweez. And I paused and I went, did I just call you Dweez? And he goes, yeah, don't do that again. Like, sorry.
By the way, in the 80s, he was quite the lady killer without actually killing the lady. Molly Ringwald and Demi Moore.
Dang.
Look at you. You go, sir.
Wasn't he a VJ on MTV
yeah,
for a while?
He was something like that, right? He was one of those things where he did like something like that. Apparently, following the death of everybody, they got into a massive fight over the trust.
Yeah.
With 30% each going, while Dweezil and his sister Moon were only given 20% each.
And he went out and did Zappa Does Zappa. He would play his father's songs on tour.
Oh.
And for some reason, and I don't know how, but the other members of the trust, not Moon, but the other guys sued
Ahmed?
him. Yeah, they sued him over it.
Yeah.
It's like, that makes no sense. Anybody can play Zappa songs if they want to. And it's just more... he was there when they were written. Why couldn't he play them?
Well, it's really interesting. As beneficiaries only, Moon and Dweezil not only get 20%, it went into millions of dollars in debt, and they had to go seek permission from Ahmed, the trustees, to make money off their father's music or merchandise bearing his name. He got sent cease and desist. Man, that's sad. That's, again, money does crazy stuff. They reconciled, but back in 2024, they said they are no longer friends and they're family. They're done. So.
When he was out with Lisa, we did probably four or five shows together, and I said, she was playing acoustic and he was playing electric. Before they would cut into a song, he just, out of the sheer joy of it, would bust into Mean Streets by Van Halen when she's getting ready to go into Stay. He would just play something with a huge fat riff on it out of the electric guitar.
Yeah, sometimes in life you do that, I mean, we can't stop it, right? You just go and do it. Next thing you know, that's the way life is. Our life is a musical. That's why you guys listen. Ken, what do you got for us in your one-hit wonder you're hoping to win today?
Most requested video in MTV history at the time. I'd forgotten about it until this listener sent me this, but I remember that video was on all the time. Showed a big old wolf trying to eat three little pigs, and the wolf just massive fail every time. So this 1993 hit Three Little Pigs from the Serial Killer soundtrack is their only major hit. It reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100. I always liked the message at the end of the video. It said, and the moral of the story is that bands with no talent can easily amuse idiots with a stupid puppet show.
Yeah, we're not. MTV was the perfect way to start rotting our minds. As it does. Just play it over and over again. Oh, man, this is crazy.
I remember that being a relatively big hit for KDF back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, because we played that, and it was, I wouldn't say it was like the song that was going to go into heavy rotation and stay there, but it was a huge, huge phone record.
I kind of remember the video, don't remember the song, and that's because it wasn't a hit in Europe. I could tell you that. I was there. It was not a hit in Europe. Not at all. They weren't like, hey, this is going to be huge. So. Yeah. A little harder edge, but yeah. Primus and who else was big at the time? Oh, God. King Missile. You guys remember that? You guys don't remember King Missile?
I remember the name, but I couldn't
That's
tell you
because
the
their song was Detachable Penis.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
They would just walk through the song. It's like, there it is. He lost his thing. And he just found it at a flea market next to a toaster. It's just hilarious. Oh, you guys are the worst. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Ken's getting lots of votes. You haven't even heard my song. My song was a hit in 1981. They did it in 73 and it sucked. But then what happened was Double Dutch got to be quite big. In fact, I didn't realize it wasn't, it was big. Do you guys remember Double Dutch? That's where you're skipping rope and there's, so it got to be really big. And it became so big that, especially on the East Coast, it kind of became a high school sport and everything, and it was in commercials and stuff. So they went and re-recorded the song after doing it in 1973, and they came out with this song, and it became a smash hit. Guess what? It is also the biggest hit currently on the Tick and the Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie Smith, the Double Dutch. And Ken, do you know what it reminds me of? You know that guy you send me, the brother that dresses up in the crazy clothes? This is who that guy is.
Exactly, that's who I'm thinking of.
That is hilarious. So this song is massive now because a group of dancers in California who last year made was it Pop Music by M, a massive viral hit. This is their big competition dance, and it's got God knows 100 million plus views. And they've turned it in 6 weeks. They've turned it into something where Spotify is like 900,000 monthly listeners for this guy who's no longer with us, old Frankie there. And 25 million plus listens just off that alone. And it shows you the power of virality, kids. He actually sings about the bus pass in the middle of this.
Yes, sir.
It's spectacular. So Double Dutch got to number 30 and is now a massive hit again for our good friend Frankie Smith, who went to school here, high school, I think college as well, passed away in 2019. And the story about what happened to all of his money, well, you're going to have to watch that on Netflix coming out soon with Colin Jost and Dr. Snow, the dentist who stole it all.
I'm going to go ahead and call it. I won.
Okay, there we go. Settle down there. Settle down. We got to get it. Is everybody there? You have the mail-in voting. I know I can do it, but I'm the president.
Nobody else can
What about
mail in a vote.
absentee voting?
None of that either.
Never.
What if the vote's postmarked for a day earlier, but it comes in a day late?
Doesn't matter. In fact, the way that we've worked it now is the minute we get anything in the mail, we tell the mail, throw it away. Open it first. If it's voting for me, throw it away. Just kidding. I'm going to go and say Ken won today, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, thank you.
Ken is the champion today with his little pigs. The pigs get Ken across the line. Woo! All right, kids. All right, coming up. Matt is here. It is his Friday.
Yes, sir.
Because he's off the next couple days. So we could watch the Masters. We'll talk to Ken straight. We'll talk to Matt straight ahead, and we're going to celebrate with Ken and his big belt, the champion of today's one-hit wonder. All that and so much more straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Champagne.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, repeat, Ken Weaver, the winner of One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
Yay! Thank you, one and all.
Wow, congratulations, Ken.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Murphy. I got to thank our great listener, Bradley Wink. Who,
he was due for one.
Yeah, he collaborated with me on this.
You know, Ken has had a losing streak since coming back from vacation. He's not won on our own nincompoops in the news.
Oh, he hasn't?
No.
Dude, I wasn't winning before I went on vacation.
So, I don't know if the bloom has been plucked off the rose that is Ken Weaver or not. I don't know what's going on with the audience and Ken, but I'm glad to see him get a victory today.
Matt, I think we figured out why Mitchell sent us these trophies.
Why is that?
Because they're so damn heavy that when you try to pick them up, you throw your back out and then it gets more business.
It's true.
Yeah.
They're very heavy.
They are very heavy.
They're substantial.
But maybe today he got off the snide and he's ready to roll.
Yeah, I feel good for him. I mean, I'm not rooting for him, but I feel good for him.
It's all good, brother. It's your Friday.
Hey, Ken, did you hear that Mandis forgot to do his morning moron bit?
So is he the moron then?
Well, when is
he not?
No, come on,
it's not very nice.
Yeah, it is my Friday. I'm taking a couple of days off. Originally there was an out of town trip scheduled, but now that has kind of been stymied. So
because you're not playing in the Masters.
Well, I did not get my invite. I was a little disappointed. I thought when Tiger had to pull out for his issues, well, I'm alternate number one, right?
Absolutely.
So I met Jefferson Knox. I knew the Knox family. If y'all don't know who Jefferson Knox is, he is one of the luckiest human beings on planet Earth. The Knox family's big-time money in Augusta and Thompson, Georgia, Thomson, no P in Thompson. So they came from Thompson and then graduated to Augusta years ago, like in the 40s and the 50s. And they're big-time, muckety-mucks with Augusta National. Jefferson Knox, I think he just retired, but for about 25 years, he was the marker.
Yeah.
And being a marker is just badass, right? And for those that don't know, in some golf tournaments, and the Masters does this, if there's an odd number of players that make the cut, they want somebody to play.
They want to even it out.
They want someone, and so it's a non-scoring marker. And repeatedly, professionals have said, Jefferson Knox beat me today. Jefferson Knox beat me today.
Yeah.
Jefferson Knox beat me today.
They'll talk about it. They would talk about it.
Because this dude was, I think he has the members record at the club, which is, pretty cool. And if you've never been, y'all need to go. I mean, it is snooty beyond belief, but it is a master class in, with unlimited money, what you can do with Earth.
That's right.
Why do they need an even number of players?
They don't. Well, a couple of things. Someone has to keep. So if there's 91 men that have made the cut, that one guy would go out by himself. Well, someone has to keep his score.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
And because you keep your playing partner's score. And so, and it's just to keep pace of play and those sorts of things. So they have it's a non-scoring person that plays with them.
Did you see the mad scientist, Bryson? He's got a 5-iron that he 3D printed it.
That's so awesome.
That's such a him.
I like Bryson.
I love Bryson.
I like Bryson.
He's my pick to win it.
I think he's due. I think he was. He faded last year. Shot a 75 last year when Rory won his first one. I think Bryson's my guy. I just want a nice competition. Bryson, Rory, Scotty. I want to see that cream rise to the top.
I do, and I love him because he is so quirky and so wacky, but he's also because of all the stuff he does on YouTube, and he kind of lives in both worlds, and they don't know what to do with him in golf, and at times because it's very
well, and totally reinvented himself.
Absolutely,
halfway through his career, and was like, you know what, I need to be more in the fans' faces in a positive, good way, and he did it.
Absolutely,
good for him. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you talk about today?
We're going to obviously continue to go over the Iranian situation, which, you're dealing with people that are lying, so they're never going to tell you the truth. We'll deal with that. We got some state stuff, and they voted down the water relief in the Metro Council.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, some people get a little bit less, and other people, so everybody gets nothing. That's what they get. Matt, you have a good weekend, man. We'll see you on Monday, as always. Later, kid.